Because I am really hungry. I got a regular croissant. I'm gonna take a bite out of that right now. So cheers. Mm. 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 Ah. Well, Rumble's having some issues. It's getting weird. Yesterday I was watching Owen Benjamin's, and like his entire stream was just non-stop screen bleeding. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. But he recorded it and then later premiered that up the recording, which was of course not screen bleeding, so otherwise like the entire stream would have just been a mess. So it was pretty good thinking of him. But man, does Rumble ever give him an issue? It's crazy. But I mean, it wasn't just Rumble though. I checked D Live and it was happening there as well, so it's just weird shit. Mm. Oh, I really needed that. Mm. I hope everybody's having a good Wednesday today. Huh? What? Wait, did Hunter Biden say Epstein didn't commit suicide? What? I didn't know that had happened. Weird. No, no, that's not what that means. Nasty, nasty bitch. Mm. Now that's what I'm telling you. Yep. Wow. RFK Jr. has been kind of crushing it. He's now cutting funding for mRNA vaccine development, so that's a good sign. It's about time, though. Well, looks like the trolls out there are scouring about. Probably didn't have any sleep on the anticipation that maybe one day this show will stop, and what will you do with your lives now, right? All this make-believe horse shit, trying to convince everybody like you're have such a great life. Yeah, nobody that acts this way has a good life. Nobody. Yeah. So keep gaslighting yourself. Maybe one day you'll actually believe it. Right? Because nobody else will. Right? I'm not losing any sleep over it. And like, oh, that didn't happen. Well, who gives a fuck? Then, you know? But I've seen this shit. I remember of it, like, even very distinctly, like a decade ago. I talked about this with my frickin' ex-girlfriend when I saw it. And she would have none of it. But I remember seeing that stuff, including the portland. It's like that, like Dimension Door is just being used, a spell from Dungeons and Dragons. But long distance. And I mean, it might also have physical consequences, so it's not like without a price when you do it. Because you're going to be subjected to energies that will probably be very comparable to high radiation. So it's not healthy when they do it. But it will give like a very distinct tactical advantage, and that's why they will do it. Alien invasion or Project Bluebeam hauled out of storage. Because I mean, that thing's been sitting there for almost a century. Soldiers may be entering building complexes through portals. Well, that's gonna trigger some ass wipes out there. But I mean, fuck it. I got maximum spam from trolls. Anyway, so who gives a shit? Like, I could just say anything. Like, I don't need to make anything up. I just start to get more upfront about things that I've seen. It's like, yeah, I think that time's coming, so now people will start to have the mindset where they will suddenly, or they might now actually pay attention to when I bring this up. Because I think I might have even like talked about this earlier years ago, but I mean, maybe somebody heard it, right? But if you don't keep repeating something over and over and over and over again, well, then most people just forget it. Because they're gonna hear so many goddamn things through all this media that it's just like, it just dilutes in a giant soup of social media information. Right. But yeah, now I'm bringing it up, I think it might be relevant now. Basically as a prediction. It's like, hi, yeah, that vision I had 30 years ago, yeah, I saw this shit happening. And as I saw it, by the way, I did not understand about it how it was fake. Because despite everything, I was still even, like, I had the mindset of basically when I was 17, not fully, totally having it sink in that the earth is flat, even though I compartmentalized that, but still at the same time also believe that it could be a globe simultaneously, which is kind of insane, not healthy. But hey, that's where I was back then. And this was one of those things that I saw and it was like very impressive. Right? I'm just still not sure, is this like a Chinese technology or is this like basically one of these, what people now would call Trump technologies? Right? Trump bragged like, oh, we got technology to bend time. Well, that's probably where this is related to. And like the whole supposed teleporting plane with the orbs, right? That's also down that lane. Well, that shit is basically just prototype demonstration at this point. Under the guise of something secret is happening. But I mean, if it's visible, if it's being recorded, that means it's basically a prototype, it's a rollout, a demonstration, and it's outdated already. Because they're not gonna actually allow the public to take note of like the tip of the spear of their developments. But I think that they might be now already doing like this portaling. Right? Who needs freaking airdrops? Right? Who needs to have a target fly around that could be shot down and then everybody in it gets killed when you could literally just fire up the machine and just like walk in there and it's there at the target location. The target location is definitely gonna get heads up because it's like massive energy displacements that are happening. So it's not like you can totally sneak in and not wake everybody up. It's gonna be noticeable, but yeah, there's no, oh, they're coming. No, it's whoop, they're there. They're suddenly armed and well right there in the middle of the building. So yeah, could get quite intense and quick. And in a way, you could even argue, well, maybe this is even better because it'll take less time, it'll require less ammunition, it'll be less damaging, and you could do a coup very quick with that technology. even though it's kind of likely that like everybody that actually participated in it will like eventually like have cellular degeneration issues. So I think it does have a big price when you use it, or use it more than one time. Right, but we'll see. But things could get freaky, and it might also be under undercover of like an alien invasion, right? It might be that, yeah, well, Project Bluebeam, right? That the deep state is now utilizing this alien party to get involved with high tech as an alternative to basically like continually bribe tribes in the Middle East and give them weapons and shit. Because it's sort of the same thing, except more high tech and with people that are like doing it in secret. And who knows, like all these soldiers might all be like completely MK Ultra, or worse, like bred, digitally programmed, like just on like a virtual reality machine that's just like educating them specifically for this task. Who knows, they might be freaking lab grown. I don't know. And the vision, I didn't like move all up and close and study it in detail because it all kind of freaked me out. Just the idea, like, what the fuck, they can literally just subtly walk right in the building. I mean, as a tactic of war though, it's certainly like, it's way cheaper and it yields much less damage. But it will like give sense of insecurity, because it's like, how the fuck can you even secure? It's literally somebody can just open a door and there's nothing really you can do against it. You can't prevent that. Or maybe you can, but I mean, that might, you might have to like deploy some energy generating field that it wouldn't be very healthy to be around that anyway. So it is gonna probably create like a tactical crisis once this stuff gets utilized. Because I mean, everybody just will feel like, wow, we got all this tech, but it's like, it's all become kind of superfluous, because it's just, with this tech, everybody's just sitting ducks. It's like, you could just literally walk in. What the fuck do you do? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, have robotic automated turrets that will just like non-registered locals immediately start shooting, because that would be like the only kind of counter you could even have, like suddenly portaling in like 50 soldiers that suddenly are in the middle of the building. Well, you can't just have living, breathing soldiers stationed everywhere just on the occasion that something like that might happen. It's like not cost effective. Anyway, so yeah, alien invasion talk out there. I'm taking the opportunity to just like, here's a part of my vision from 30 years ago, when I started hearing about this. Like, I heard it through Alex Jones, but that's not really relevant because he's just reporting in on it. And of course, he loves the whole globe. Anything that would reinforce the idea that the Earth is a globe and there's outer space is good with him. Like, he's kind of like emphasized like, oh, the aliens are interdimensional. Because if there are any, that's probably what they are. But I mean, those interdimensional aliens are basically like the fallen angels, disembodied spirits that meddle with people, and that's it. So they're like, those spirits are not literally going to invade anything, but they might convince other people to, do stuff for them, right? And they've probably been doing that for a while. But yeah, so this whole stuff is rolling out and coming back around And I thought, like, yeah, if this is if it's really gonna be sprung, if like a Project Blue Beam is gonna be rolled out in some fashion, with like an official announcement of aliens being there, and maybe even they will have a representative, and who knows how the hell they would do that. I mean, with the CGI technology these days, like, they could like do anything with it, and they could make it quite convincing. Although with how things go out there, it almost will have to be cartoonish in a way, because everything, all productions are getting more and more cartoonish. Like, even just regular politics, it's right. A lot of people are not going to buy it, of course. I'd say a majority will think like, this is that project, the deep state is doing it to try to undermine America's reform and all that, and that will definitely contribute. That will definitely be a factor. That croissant was a really good idea. I really needed that. Right, so yeah. People moving in through portals. And I mean, it's just not just like they can only do it at one location. Like, it would be potentially setting it up and then occupying like half a nation. Like hundreds of different locations vastly apart, all simultaneously moving in there. And I mean, as soon as that becomes noticed, is a good chance that a lot of big nations that haven't been in on it will be very nervous about it, because it's like, shit, now that that is possible, that means like we did our best to like secure everything and keep everything in balance, but it's just like, fuck, they just decide to take us over, we're screwed. Right, so, but yeah, we'll see that when we get to that. Right, it might take a while, and maybe this will happen and like nobody will ever get to hear about it. It will just be like, we have been occupied by soldiers, we don't know how they got here. But they will be visible like on camera. Like, what the fuck are like hundreds of Chinese soldiers, or blatant Chinese soldiers doing like right in the middle of the US? Like, how the hell did they get there? Right? That might be how it will be presented to the outside world. And when that happens, I'm gonna be saying portals, and then everybody's gonna be saying, oh, look at that stupid conspiracy theorist, the portals. Like, yeah. But that's fine, you know, people want to believe what they want to believe, even if nothing about it makes sense, and they just end up not understanding. If they don't want to believe an explanation, then they just don't. And if they hear somebody else make an even crazier explanation, they'll probably buy that. I mean, like, what people decide to believe these days is getting surreal. There's definitely gradual delusion seeping in. With like a lot of people. Because we don't really have a standard like we used to. Like in the 90s, it was already getting derailed a bit, but there was a standard where everybody just understood this is normal. Well, in the last 10 years especially, that has just kind of drifted apart, and some people still try to hold on to like what actually is normal, but you can't connect it up anymore with other people, because like a lot of people are just going adrift in that sense, right? They still do their work and everything, and they're just trying to be functional. But as to like a human, social, spiritual side, it's like there's no more solid foundation to compare yourself with now. So yeah, I think that's part of the reason why people literally are much easier to just hear the latest thing, some new thing, and then they just all hop on board. But it's more like, oh, this is the new thing that we like, and if it's disproven or something else comes up and the thing is forgotten, then people literally forget it. Like they just like don't really care. They're just hopping on board with things for whatever reason. A lot of people are like trying to play mob tactics with it. So that's a worrisome trend in general, that instead of people like seeking information and reinforcing it, a lot of people are all about the bandwagon now. And those people don't really seem to understand the things that they are on board with, and very easy to change their positions without any consequence to them. Like any. Because they don't have any more foundation to appeal to compare themselves with. It's not there anymore. It's been too diluted. Right. So yeah, I hope everybody's having a good day. For me, it is kind of good. I feel good. I feel very clear. I feel I have hope, because my situation is about to improve. And I'm using that stability to tap into this subject, which is kind of freaky. It's a freaky subject. Hey, Getting Wisdom, good to see you. First in chat, the first actual person that's not just a sock account of a piece of trash. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Right, if you're liking the show or you thought this interesting or anything, just Rogan's it up. Interesting so far? Yeah, good to hear. I think it's interesting. If I wouldn't, why the hell would I bring it up? Right, but I got a lot of bizarre and interesting things that I've seen in my visions. It's all about the timing. It's even like if I would attempt to just put it down, all of it, I would literally get lost in it. Because it's like this massive pile-on of one thing after the other. Some things kind of stood out to me, in the sense that I remember it, but it's really like where my frequency is at as to what things I will clearly remember. You can't remember all of it at the same time. And so that's also how my visions are getting back to me. It's like, hey, this has happened. Because this has happened, there's an associative sets of events that I saw in my vision that directly correlate. So now I'm going to roll that out. And that's kind of how I'm doing it. Right? And think of it whatever you will, man. Like, I don't really care. It to a degree, a lot of things that I saw in my vision, I'd be very, very happy and thankful to God if none of that would actually happen. Because it's all not good. Mostly. I can barely, if I try to think, I can barely recall anything that was like on a grand scale that would be good. It would like, finally that's fixing it. No, nothing like that. It's like no matter what happens, nothing gets fixed. They've become surreal experts in just postponing fixing everything unto eternity. And we're already noticing these effects. We're already seeing that. We're learning that. People are waking up like, wow, this is all this stuff, and it's not complete. It's not actually gonna work out. All the good things that seem to be done immediately get outdone by evil very quickly. And that seems to be how it works every time. It's almost like evil just sort of allows a simulacrum of good and restoration to happen just so they can figure out how to prevent that from happening after that. It really feels like that to me. Because, I mean, when you see the pattern, you see the pattern. And other people are catching on. The problem is, though, is when you see it, it's so unbelievably demoralizing. It's almost just unacceptable, even if it's real. Because it literally takes away hope. It basically says anything good you try to do will be like a vaccination to the beasts, where they literally just allow that to happen temporarily so they can completely immunize against it, so that it never happens again. Yeah? Allowing some good just so they can become totally impervious and immune to it from ever being used again. And that's a very demoralizing insight when you embrace that, because that literally means anything good you do will just destroy more good. So yeah, even though to completely surrender to that notion, it's like you gotta have hope, even if it seems like you can prove that it's all for naught. It's all bound to fail. You still gotta do it. It's like you have no other choice. But if even that realizes you have no other choice, well, that means and there is no way to win. Like ever. Like no matter what. No matter what. Like in the face of anything conceivable, any dramatic change, it's not gonna be fixed ever. Like no matter what. Any scenario that can be thought, any dramatic impact of any sort, and it will not change the setup. right? And everybody's feeling it. Comment the video pause. Oh, that's irritating. Right, people are seeing the pattern now with Trump. It's like he's going after the deep state. Oh, he's pointing out the crimes and no arrests. But it's building up to it, like, yeah, it's gonna happen, but it's not happening. And I mean, theoretically, way at the end, it's like when it's actually kind of too late, that's when it might happen. It's like those key people might get arrested because there's already an entire new faction to take over from them. I can bet your ass they're working on it. So it's like, you could even conceive that the second that they do actually get arrested is the moment where suddenly the alien invasion starts happening. Oh, how could that suddenly be that? How could that be happening with that timing? I mean, Right. Oh, this world is just nuts. And I mean, it is definitely the little season. It's ramping up. It's getting worse. I just wonder, like, is there something coming? Is there truly something coming? And like, when there is this Archangel Michael level force coming in the flesh or in a physical being, will it be coming when there's still people alive, or is it just like it'll show up when basically everything else is all dead? When like every frickin' group out there is just, everything is genocided. Dressing up clothes. What? Yeah, right. With the aliens, yeah, maybe. Dude, it's gonna get freaking weird if they have like gray aliens that are wearing human suits. That's gonna be like the weirdest thing ever, man. If that is indeed what will happen. I think it might. I think I may have been looking through the eyes of one. It's just and throughout the entire Dark World vision, I think I looked in a mirror just like once or twice. It's very rare. I've seen through a lot of eyes, but I've not seen what I looked like through those eyes. But I mean, like, guys, like, the narrative could get seriously insane. If this trend continues, basically Trump has been doing with frickin' anti-Semitism law bullshit, and now even using it like against his own country. Like, I think he like stopped it, retracted it, but he basically stated like any state in the US that allows anti-Semitism, like, will not get disaster relief funds. Like, he said that to Texas, which is like, that's a horrifying thing to say. Like, that is just blatantly evil. And like, there's no person that does not think that, literally. It's like, even like pretty Zionist Jews will be like, that's fucking outrageous. Like, they're not gonna accept that. That's too far. It's insane. And he did seem to have retracted that. But I mean, it could get to the point where there will be, if all anti-Semites are aliens. Really? That they're gonna make it Jews against aliens, and aliens can possess people, and then they become an anti-Semite, and that's basically the aliens. And they're gonna associate it with like, of course, like Satan worshipping, like Democrat Antifa mobs and all that, which they are arguably possessed, but they will like do a much broader view on it and basically say anybody that's like not saying like, yes, Jews should have the right to literally genocide all Jews and we will all applaud. If you say no, you might be an alien, like an outer space alien that's coming to take over. I mean, it could literally get that insane, guys. Literally. You think that's like too ridiculous? Or is it starting to seep in? Like, that's so fucking insane, it's probably true. Because things are getting more insane like that. More cartoonish. More ridiculous and outrageous. But still, it's like, no, that's just how we do it now. Anti-Semitism just means racism. Yeah, it's a rebranding of just saying, oh, a racist bigot. It's just that now they don't really fucking care about any racism except against Israel. That's what it seems like. It's bizarre. But I mean, seriously, like, the worse this gets, there's a lot of Jews that are actually going a redemption arc on this. Because they know, like, this is completely out of control. Like, it's just so overtly evil. Like, it doesn't matter how much you like, and how much you like profit and shit. It's like, if it's too insanely dead and unstable, and you know, like, everybody, like, really wants to kill you, because it's so unbelievably evil out in the open that you're promoting, then a lot of them are just gonna say like, you know what, we want our race of the Jews, they just want to survive. Like, no, we don't want to like make it so bad that people are literally gonna exterminate us without any regret and take, because of how bad it's getting. So there is Jews that are like, fuck this, like, this is unacceptable, like, we don't want this, this will destroy Israel, this will destroy Jews. And because it's true, and I mean, I kind of proud that I was early with that, like, early recognizing it's like, hey, there's a problem speaking out against Israel, because like, everybody's witnessed the genocide and what they're doing and how merciless and unregretful they are about it. This is going to be the end of Israel. There's no way this could end up in a stable setup for that nation with Jews being prosperous. Like, it cannot end like that, the way it's going right now. And I'm very happy that a lot of Jews have basically taken that position. Like, good. Like, it re-encourages me, like, yeah, oh, thank God there are Jews that are just, they are still human. Thank God. Because I want to like Jews. When I was younger too. When I was young, it was the Jews that I actually had really interesting conversations with. That I had an opportunity to develop myself intellectually at a very young age. It was almost exclusively Jews. Because other people at that age, they didn't know shit. They just didn't know anything. They didn't understand anything. They couldn't evade things properly. But with the Jews, mostly very talented in communication, even when they're very young. And so, like, I like Jews. I find them stimulating intellectually and a bit challenging here and there. All of them do have like weird hiccup things and trigger points and all that. But at least they're developed. And from that perspective, I think that if all the Jews were gone for whatever reason, man, like, it would be a great loss. It would be. So for me, it was always like, how can we just get this to a tenable, stabilized situation again, where, like, make Jews human again. Like, if we could just snap them out of this evil, this megalomania, then we could just get some good times back. That's my idea. I mean, call me foolish, call me an idealist, or call me an anti-Semite, right? I mean, I basically said a Jew could be evil, like, so I might be just an anti-Semite now. I don't know. I mean, I don't think of myself as an anti-Semite. I really chose long time ago to always be neutral at it, because yeah, there's like outrageous things that come out of the Jews. I can't let it get to me. I cannot allow that to happen. It'll just be fucking rage win, and it'll get me in trouble. It's not gonna help. It's not gonna stop it. So my attitude towards all that is always going to be as a therapist. It's like, how can we get this manageable? How can you, at least temporarily, through mindset, through realization, through choices, fix it? I want to help. I always wanted to help. Right? But I can't help like a shameless child sacrificing demon that's just gonna slaughter them, film it, and then brag about it and be completely unremorseful. Like, I can't help. I can't support that. I can't turn a blind eye to it and pretend like that's not a really bad thing and like a mark of sin on all who associate with that. Like, it is, and like, that's the thing I'm worried about. That there are Jews out there that basically, as we would think of as Nazis, right, as the Spielbergian version of it, just unlimited atrocity and just pretend like it doesn't exist. That they're doing it. It's like, this you can't do that. That's insane. That would have been insane 100 years ago or 80 years ago. Now, with like media being absolutely everywhere, it is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous to think that that could work. Ridiculous. Can't work. And you can't make it work. And you better catch on that it really can't work, and you have to retract and basically figure out how to, what to do now. Because that plan, it's just not working. All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna put in the title "Make Jews Human" again. That might be a bit far, and I don't know how it even is like when you put that sort of thing in the title now. Maybe that would bring trouble. I don't know. Right, so yeah, that was, I guess, my first hour. I can barely believe that there's just always something that I can talk about. And I'm also kind of surprised how many times I can now connect up basically and reference my vision. How often I can do it. And I don't know how people even see that. Like, when I talk about it, I'm not like pretending like that people are gonna like completely understand or even believe it. Like, to me, like, I'm basically even mentioning it just for me to keep track of. And in a sense to prove that I am definitely consistent about it. Like, there is no, like, it really was one thing. And so I'm not gonna like have memories and then suddenly that is all different. Like, it's not just regular imagination that happened. And so everything that I've shared should be logically consistent. And not contradicting where I'm talking about the same thing and something completely different happens, because that doesn't happen when I look back to it. It is like one consistent, you could say, that happened. One thing that it was. I'm basically just laying it down for me at this point, because I'm trying to make sense of it. And trying to figure out, like, if I can be stepping it up, right? I've been very reluctant to bring up details from my visions in the past. Very reluctant. I would mention that I had it, but I would not be specific. It's really recently that I've become more specific about it. the last 2 years. Before that, every time I'd mention it, it would be very hollow. Like, I would just mention things. I would mention like how it happened, when it happened, what it was like, but not elaborate on any real details other than like, that was weird in 97 when I got to see like businessman Trump and the wife of Clinton. Like, I didn't know anything about politics, so that was really weird, and it always stood out to me, like, why did I get to see that in 97? That was so weird. And then, of course, when that happened, the 2015, 2016, like, it was really like, whoa, that's the thing that I saw. That's like what I got a very small summarization, basically in like one picture. I got a reference of this situation that's happening now, 2015, 2016, in the vision that I had in 97. Like, whoa. So that's what I was seeing. That's one of the few really detailed things that I've referenced. Yeah, gaining wisdom. Why don't you answer that question or not, and I'll just kick him out. Like, who the fuck cares, man? Like, I don't care if you fucking retards don't believe anything about it. I don't care. You can fucking make your sock accounts and mock me and spam. Oh, visions. I mean, literally, it just gets other people interested. Yeah? Because it is interesting. You are desensitized. Probably partially lobotomized. So you just don't have those faculties. You don't have those senses at all. Yeah? Just because you can't experience and you feel like you have to mock it doesn't mean that people are not interested. Yeah, and you're not gonna gaslight me into not bringing it up, ever. This is a part of me. This is what I experienced. It was big. It's overwhelming. I don't recommend anybody to try to like achieve the experience that I have had, because it was extremely burdensome, and I could argue that it actually ruined half my life, because when I got out of it, like, I just didn't know what the fuck to do with my life, because it was so overwhelming, and I got to see so up my nose, basically, like how things were gonna go terrible, that it was very discouraging. So I don't recommend anybody to do that. But since I have experience, I will goddamn well talk about it. Because I want to get something out of it. If not just like, hey, I had this thing, but don't do it. It'll fuck you up. Because it will. Is it said in this journal would number the stars? Is biological children or the ideas? But I don't understand what you just said. What are you relating to, gaining wisdom? Right, I mean, maybe it is kind of right now that the Abrahamic religions are all getting highlighted, and then there's something weird going on with them. Look, guys, I've had a long time suspicion, and I mean, I certainly don't mean any blasphemy, or maybe it just doesn't matter. I've had a long time suspicion that frickin' Yahweh, I mean, he's basically the devil. He literally, in fucking writing, identified himself as Baal. Okay? I mean, hello everybody. Yeah? That's the God? Yeah, I believe in Jesus's rebellion against that God. To fulfill a thing in order to move on. Hey Amanda Young, good to see you. I'm later on. Yeah, glad you were able to catch it. Yeah, I know I was late. I did announce that though. But yeah, I'm quite inspired today. Right? So if Yahweh is indeed Baal and we're dealing with that, then we also deal with, well, what Christians would make into their idolatry version of Christ, Jesus Christ the God. I don't think so. I think that he basically was a rebel against Baal, effectively. Like, your father's not my father, and he gave recognition to the great architect, like the logical true architect that in my view would not have an incarnation, because only little g, or the older god, the Nephilim, would have incarnations. And I think that that is what he was really doing. He was there to basically release us from being enslaved to the devil. The fuck is that? Okay. Right. Yeah, that's about the Old Testament God, right? I mean, he said it. Right? I mean, this was shocking to me even when I was much younger. Like, when I figured that out for the first time is like when I was 13, I think. It was one of the reasons I became a Satanist, because I thought this is all fucked. And I just took Satan as in opposer. In a way, I was trying to be like a Satanist, which actually would be a Christian. Like opposing that, opposing church system, opposing mind control, opposing superiority complex. And like, be truly free. Be free in heart and mind and culture. And like, I'm gonna do my own thing, completely separate. I'm gonna start anew. I thought like, I'm gonna create a new religion, arguably. And I mean, yeah, I've kind of done that, but it's really just my personal eclectic religion with my personal symbols that, like, I'm not trying to spread the religion. I'm just trying to spread my insights and let people make up their own minds. And if they then resonate with what I do, then they'll kind of be alike. He's killed people for saying he's killing too much. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, but I mean, it all does sound very Netanyahu, doesn't he? Right? And in that sense, it's kind of ironic that maybe they are actually being for that God. Baal. It just gets all very confused because of religious theocracy programming, where it's kind of like hid that and made it like a combination, like melding it all into one. Like, Jesus is the God and he's also the old God, and it just becomes a mess. Right? But to me, logically, Jesus was actually like a Satanist against the established religious order that was there, that was of the devil, and he opposed it, which makes him like Satan, an opposer, but not a Satan of evil and weakness, but literally the meaning of the word, the opposing it, being like a true rebel, like a rebel that directly opposes that God that was like claiming grounds, claiming people, demanding sacrifices, and he's just like, this is not my God. I'm gonna show you a better God. And it was so impressive to people that they basically thought, no, you are God, right? You are God, Jesus. It's like, he is with me. Like, I will represent the Father and like all that. But like, no, he did not say he was God. But a lot of people seem to really want him to be a physical incarnation of God. Have you read the Satanic Bible when I was a Satanist? I read like a couple of pages of it and I immediately knew this is all fucking bullshit. I want nothing to do with that crap. This is like Atreyu stuff and shit. Like, dude, that was just like, this is retarded. If you don't get this, that this is wrong, you're insane. So I never got into it like that. For me, being a Satanist was more like a symbol of I am an opposer. I was taking the word as like an original archetype. I basically tried to recreate a form of Satanism that's nothing, exactly the opposite of what we now associate with Satanism. Right? It's like, if the God that rules the world is evil and satanic, and people in power are lying, evil, and satanic, then being a Satanist in relation to that, it would be the opposite. And so I was like, I'm a Satanist, which is like a real Christian, but I oppose the church. I was just basically trying to be a special boy with it. I'm sorry, it is what it is. I thought like, I'm gonna be like a Jew of the anti-Semite tribe. That's kind of what I was doing in my own way. But I mean, as I was doing it, I was like having other people that seemed to be actual Satanists and evil and distorted around me, and it eventually made me like, I gotta get out of here. This is nuts. This is not what I was seeking out. I don't want to have anything to do with that. I don't want to have anything to do with like self-mutilation spiritually and physically and sacrifice. I don't want to have anything to do with it. It's all deranged. And that's when I realized, like, no, I'm actually more on the Christians' side. I sympathize with their struggle way more. If only they could, like, further see the mistakes within their ways. So yeah, I thought I was a Satanist, but I was never like a real Satanist like that. It was more LARPy cosplay. Like, I was like in the gothic scene, I was like, ooh, spooky, and like to be able to scare people just by my appearance, such things. Like just being spooky. I like that. It made me feel safe, weirdly enough. But I was never like, oh yeah, gross rituals and shit. Although I did sort of have an interest in sex magic, but then just not like the gross shit and orgies and shit. Never did any of that. Because it just felt so wrong, right? I've always like followed my intuition even throughout that. And it's just like, ugh. Like, why are all these people so fucking gross? Why are there so many of them? It's nuts. What do you think of celebrities who cover one eye? Do you have any idea why they do that? Yeah, it's virtue signaling. It's basically saying we're part of the occult programming. I mean, I used to do that with my croissants just for the fun, basically to mock it for the fun of it. When I had my Illuminati croissants, but I mean, it's been a while since I've had that. Promote hedonism? Yeah, well, a lot of the celebrity circles and their Satanism, yeah, it has a lot to do with hedonism and all that, yeah. You get wealth and waste it for your own ego. That's a big part of that. Right? But, I mean, that's like Satanism that like genuinely opposes and hates God. And I've never been that. I've never hated God. In reality, the way I saw it is like, I have to take this role. I have to like sort of oppose how people thought God was to actually be able to do his will. It's kind of cryptic like that. And I mean, it didn't really work. I thought it could work, it didn't. I've like said even to my freaking family at the time, like, I'm a Satanist now. And now thinking back to it, like, holy shit, did I actually say that? That's so fucking stupid. So stupid. So stupid. Now thinking back, like, yeah, that did not work at all. Like, you can't just use those words with everything that goes around and think that you can just like rebrand that. It doesn't work. It didn't work. I just thought, like, I'm just gonna rebrand the whole thing. But yeah, I mean, no. I had barely even seen what was behind the veil, how dark and ugly it actually gets. Like real Satanism out there. I had seen some of it, which was more than I wanted, but it was barely even the whole thing. I figured out, like, I can't handle this shit. Eventually. Should depart from the beast system and form our own communities. Yeah. But I mean, it's still gonna be within the beast system though. But I mean, just because you're part of, if your beast system is over you, doesn't mean that you have to give in to every single thing that the beast system wants from you or suggests. Like, if you just do this, then you'll have more advantage, right? That, because the beast system is really set up to lure you in deeper every time. It's always how it's working, yeah? And that's what they did with the smartphone. And I don't have a smartphone. You can actually go around and not have a smartphone, and it works. It works. It is doable. You can actually do it. Right? It's people's like, no, you have to do it. You have to do the newest thing. That's just the newest thing, and it's going to be normal. And that's how people get all dug in deep into the beast system, because they always just like, oh, this is the newest thing, I'm going to do it. Because they want to be sort of like ahead of the trend or whatever. But that is the way that the beast system catches so many people and does so much damage, because people are not heeding the actual dangers of it. That's the real problem. Not even that there is a beast in it, it's how people are dealing with it. That so many people surrender to it is the real problem, not that it's even there. right? So you can't really depart from the beast system, but you can just figure out and decide, I'm not just gonna do every new thing that the beast system is gonna roll out. And if you do that, you're like already halfway all of it. If you just do that. Right? Just don't go with the newest fucking trend. It's like, oh, ChatGPT, oh, we gotta do it. That's exactly the thing that I'm talking about. The new tech. Oh, everybody, oh, I gotta specialize in this. Oh, everybody's talking about it. I gotta do it. Everybody's talking about it. Yeah, that's literally digging yourself deeper into the beast system. Every time that happens. Oh, a new thing. Everybody's doing it. Does that mean it's a good thing? Does that mean you have to do it to stay ahead of the curve? No, it does not mean that. And the more people think that it does mean that and then do it, the quicker the beast system will accelerate. That's how it actually works. Jesus' opposition to mainstream Judaism was debate within Judaism. Not some kind of opposition to Yahweh. Oh, okay, sure. It is to me though. Yeah, your God is not my God. To me, is a very culture. Yeah, that does not coincide with worshipping Baal. I'm sorry, it just cannot. It cannot. So I don't care if there's some mainstream Judaism debate. This is my view. And I don't give a fuck what other people think about that if they disagree with it from their Judaic viewpoint. I literally don't care. Right? I'll discuss it or whatever. I'll hear it out. But I mean, that this has no weight to me. I don't care if person in the world that would agree with me. I don't care. This is my viewpoint. This is how I see it. This is how it fits to me. Right. But yeah, thank you for your comment. It's always interesting. Glad to see some actual chat activity, not just whining. 'Cause trolls suck. So yeah, thanks everybody for being here, and don't forget to Rogan's it up if you're liking it, and if you want to discuss more about this, then yeah, let me know. In the chat, of course. What if the Bible was meant to be taken as a life lesson and not literally? Well, that's what I think it is, actually. Right? That's why I say I follow the path of Christ. It's just listen to what he says, the methodology that he rolls out. That's the real important thing. I don't think that the Bible is literal. I don't, especially the New Testament. I don't think it is literal. I think it's a recreated story of Jesus of Nazareth, which I think was a real person. Right? And I think there might have even been multiple Jesuses. It might be like all kinds of things back in the past that were basically all rewritten and recreated into this astrotheology structured, which is kind of pagan, right? An astrotheology Jesus story. Using the wisdom of the actual Jesus of Nazareth, which was a real person, to then recreate into this weird astrotheology reflecting story about him. And I don't think any of that is literal. Like, that is where he gets equated astrotheologically with the sun. And so by that standard, like, no, that's so, to me, that's like very evident that that's not literal. Does it mean that there was never this figure, that he didn't exist, that this wisdom is just pointless? No, it isn't pointless. It's provably amazing and practical, and you can literally take it and apply it for yourself. But that doesn't make like all the other stuff, and even like the miracles and all, it doesn't make any of that real or even relevant. I ignore all of that, as did Jefferson when he wrote his Jeffersonian Bible. Ignore the miracles. It's literally not important. See? But the wisdom of Jesus is important. Ah. Dude. Okay, Jews created this Jesus story this way on purpose so the Gentiles find this fake resistance to Satan in Jesus. Okay. Dude, I don't even think Jesus was Jewish. Literally, I don't think so. A wolf will eat and a chicken will eat, getting wisdom. Glad you're still here. Wow, can't believe we're 40 minutes already. I might round out the show soon. I feel like I got everything out that I wanted to talk about. Never expect to go like the whole biblical route. I just had some crazy times when I was younger. Right. Hope everybody appreciated the show. I mean, I think it went really well. Don't forget to rose it up. Catch you later. Hey, I'm not gone yet. Pathetic. Dude, get a fucking life, retard. Seriously. Nobody gives a fuck about your stupid spam. Nobody cares about your stupid spam, asswipe. Get a fucking life, retard. Right. Yeah, I will round out show. It's just these spamming assholes now, so they could go fuck themselves and they're just gonna spend 20 minutes deleting their bullshit roboting messaging. It's so fucking lame, dude. Like, nobody gives a shit about your fucking spam horse shit, okay? Retards. Fuck you. Nobody cares. It's fucking lame. That you're wasting all this energy even doing that is just retarded. Definitely not something you should be proud of, or pretend like you're proud of it. Because I could barely believe that you would actually be that deranged to truly believe that. It's so fucking stupid. Just fuck off and get a fucking life, retard. Nobody fucking cares. Right. Thanks everyone for coming. Hope you liked the show. If you did, then please don't forget to Rogan's it up. And if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 PM Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through PayPal, Patreon, GiveSendGo, links are in the description box below, or send me super chat over to Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel, support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. I could always use it. Right. Probably be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 2372 on a Thursday. Hope to see you all then. Everybody have a great rest of the day, and until the next video, keep it flat.